All right, so it is 2:04 on 3/15/2024. We will go ahead and call this special meeting to order. We'll start off with a roll call. Heidi? Kelsey?
Here.
Jenny?
Here.
Merle? Crystal?
Here.
And Chair's here. So that does give us a quorum, but we're at 4, so. Sorry, my phone's going nuts. Let me turn it silented since I was getting messages from folks. Okay, so roll calls out of the way. Let's go ahead and do flag salute and pledge allegiance. If you would join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks for joining me and being able to make yourself available. It's good that this project has got some legs and moving forward. I was really excited to see this. So, Linda, do you want to give us a little bit of background, or Bill? I'm not sure who was up or who wants.
Yeah, Linda will go ahead and fill us in, and Dave will. Also,
Yeah,
Dave's also on the line too.
Yeah.
Awesome, great.
Yeah. So I put out the memo that was with the agenda, so I think all of you had a chance to see it. But basically, we asked for bids from at least 3 companies for this for some asphalt work around the district. And we started out with just thinking the athletic field, and then we thought if they're going to come in and move in their equipment, maybe we can get all of the things done that we need. And we were pleasantly surprised with the results of this bid process. So K&L Industries, they're out of Canby, came in with the quotes that were in that memo. So basically the total cost of all of this would be $163,000. They also are available to do this work as of yesterday at about 4 o'clock, spring break. So we are pretty excited about that. It's a prevailing wage contract, so it is something that is good for people. I don't know if there's any questions about what we're doing, or if what we gave you as the memo was enough explanation, or if you have any questions.
Hi, Linda. This is Jenny. Yeah, I would like to see a copy of the whole RFP and then both the responses. In the memo, it looks like we only got a summary from K&L. I was wondering who the other company was.
Yeah, so this was not an RFP process because as of January 1, we can do an intermediate procurement for anything between $25,000 and $250,000. So this was a solicitation for bids or quotes, and Dave Schultz is the one that reached out to companies to get this information.
Okay, but you do have the responses from both the companies that you can send.
We have another response. Theirs was about a $300,000 bid. So I do have it, and I do have the others. But I think
I'd be interested in seeing those.
Yeah, I think on the phone, no one's going to be able to see them. So I don't.
So point of order, it looks like we have Merle who's joined us. I'm not sure who's doing that, but
I will get it.
Okay, thank you, Linda.
So my question, I do have kind of a list of questions. I'm wondering about I'm sorry, I'm going to kind of ask about nitty-gritty details. I wanted to know what the depth of the asphalt was going to be on driving versus walking pathways. Was that in their response?
I think so. Dave, do you know that off the top of your head without me digging through it?
I think sidewalks was going to be 2 inches. There's 3 inches that compressed down to 2 inches. And then I believe I'd have to get in front of me on the driveway out back.
So for instance, here's the walking track. I can read you what we have for the middle school walking track. It is 6-inch gravel base. Basically 36 loads of gravel, grade and compact the rock, apply 2-inch of compacted hot asphalt over prepared area and hand tamp edges, sand seal joints at road. There isn't a couple of places where there might be less than a 2% slope, so they're not saying drainage will be perfect everywhere, but for the most part, it should be good. And then if I can find the one. Well, the other one, basically 3 of them are walking. The other one is asphalt grindings. And that's the area from the facilities entrance. Dave, maybe you could say this better, from the facilities entrance back to the softball field, that driveway.
Yes,
Not
yes.
all of the parking areas, is that correct?
No, we were gonna widen the parking areas down there too by the softball.
Okay,
And the parking areas by before the football stadium. That, we're not gonna take over, it'll stay on the road and then cover the parking lot. When we get down to the other end by the softball field, it's gonna be on both sides of the driveway. And then I also asked them to, since there's a handicap parking where, on that west side of that football stadium, there's a ramp there and there's grass leading up to that ramp. So I asked them to bring that asphalt clear over to that ramp so it's more accessible for handicap access. And then since they were right there, there's that double gate that they use to use it for access for football games for the ambulance or whatever it might need to get in through there. We also use that for a lot of access for our field prep work from Pacific Sports Turf. So it gets a lot of traffic through there. So I asked them just where that double gate is, if they could just asphalt that up to the existing asphalt right there to make it more accessible for everybody and make sure it's not muddy or something if an ambulance or something needs to get out there. So
and
it's not just the road all the way down there. It's adding, widening out for parking areas too.
so the
Oh.
bid also said this would be a 3-inch. This one is asphalt grindings. That's what we have underneath there in some areas already. So it's apply a 3-inch of compacted asphalt grindings over the prepared area.
What's the ongoing maintenance plan with seal coating needed every 2 years?
David?
I wasn't aware it needed to be re-seal coated every 2 years.
Typically asphalt does, especially if there's not any kind of water drainage. Otherwise you get that alligator cracking and then you have to grind it and remove it. And did you talk anything about like what's the ongoing maintenance that would be needed for this?
I did not.
I can interject on the asphalt. I think it is a good idea to plan to seal coat, but it doesn't need to be done until 1 or 2 years later. I don't think they recommend it until then.
So
Good
that's
to know,
definitely,
but it's still some maintenance that needs to be talked about. Will still be a cost there.
yeah, we have a maintenance budget every year, Jenny, and if this would be something that we would need to make sure we've budgeted for, the district would budget for it.
Okay.
Compared to the cost of the
It-
asphalt, the seal coating is quite low or inexpensive.
But an expense nonetheless. Is this quote a not to exceed, or is it just based on the square footage?
Based on square footage, there's a couple of things. If, if there's landscaping, or lawn repair needed, that's our responsibility. Relocation of utilities or lighting, known or unknown or at the cost of others. Typical for this type of work.
Yeah, have we had any type of survey to see if that's going to be needed?
David, I
Like
think
somebody
that you know
walking
the
out there.
area. I'll let you answer that one.
As far as survey, as far as what? As far as,
Like seeing if we have to have grass maybe repaired or if there's underground utilities that nobody knows about or putting drainage in if that's needed. Do we know if that's going to be an additional cost?
Anytime someone's going to dig up on our property, we ask that the locate come out and locate. But we wouldn't normally do that until we're getting ready to do the project. Anything else?
I would just add, we chatted, Linda, I believe the reason they're using grindings on that rear driveway is probably because of permeability. Since we are not actively putting in drainage with this, and it's a driveway width, so it's not necessarily required, but water will be much more permeable through that particular material. And we've used, not we've used that, but I've seen that used in other places, and it is less prone, much less prone to the alligator crack, or the cracking. So.
Yeah.
Any other questions for staff?
Okay.
Otherwise, we will move forward. If there's a motion out there.
I just have one more question. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to understand. When we talk about doing the walking path around the middle school, are we keeping in mind that we're going to be having, construction with the irrigation or the grading out there for the soccer fields?
Yes, we
And will
are.
that be impacted?
Yes,
Okay.
we've talked to both sides to know that the person doing the irrigation knows that we're going to put in a path, and the people doing the path know that we're going to put in irrigation.
but it's separate areas.
They're just going to be a connection from about where this path on one side of the path, on the other side of it, the irrigation connects to our existing pipe water supply.
What are the chances that we're going to get the OEA grant?
Don't know, they don't, it doesn't close till April 24th or 26th, so we won't know till it happens.
Okay, with the grant aside, we've got the funds to cover this?
Yes, we already know we have the 21,000 for this project, so the total being 163 less that 21 would be 142 at the moment, and the possibility of getting another 40,000 for the grant. So we're not counting on that, and we will cover that.
Oh.
Thanks, Linda. David, do you have anything to add?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we approve the contract for asphalt work as presented in the memo to K&L Industries.
I hear a motion. Was there a second in there?
I will second.
Thank you, Merle. Have a motion, a second. Is there a discussion on the motion before us? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Let's go ahead and do this by roll call. Kelsey,
Yay.
Jenny,
Yay.
Merle,
Yay.
Crystal,
Yay.
and chair votes for. So that motion carries. Thanks for making time for joining us. That's all we had on the agenda. So, Linda, do you need a signature yet this afternoon?
No, it doesn't require a signature. I needed a passing vote.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Then I won't worry about stopping by. So,
Okay, thank you so much.
hey,
and
thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks you
We
all.
will
Yep,
go ahead and
thanks for
adjourn
making
at
time.
2:20.
Mhm.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye, take care.